Hi everyone, and welcome to this video where we're going to create an HTML file that will represent the front end of our application. So we already built an HTML file in the previous section, so you know how to do it. So let's begin. Now here's the code from our backend, and now let's create a folder right here in our code bug fixing app. So the directory will be called templates. And here I'm going to place the index.html file. Now, the difference between this application and the previous one is that in the folder templates, we're going to include more than one HTML file. But about this, we will talk in the next section, where we add a payment. For now, let's add the main components that we need in order to make the front end of our application accessible. So let's begin. Firstly, I'll remove some of the automatically generated data. Okay, I will leave that, and then I will edit the header. So let's create a header called bug fixing. Okay, so this will be our header, and then let's begin the body. Here I will create a single div and I will add a class here, header. Okay, and this div will basically display the header of our application. So let's do h1 code bug. Actually, fixer sounds better than fixing, so I will keep that name. So under this div, where is going to be the code fixer header of our application, let's create a form. Okay, and the action for this form will be a backslash. Okay, and here we are going to use our post request. So let's do method post, which means that once we select the field within that form, we're going to create a post request from our backend, right? And this is our post request. So this is where we're actually going to access our backend and contact the ChatGPT, okay, from this form. So it makes sense that in this form we actually add the button that the user is going to press. So I will do button and then class submit dash button, then type will be equal to submit. Okay, and here I will write code fix. Okay, great. So now you have the button, and this button will create a post request. However, we also need to add our fields in which we're going to write information. So let's create a container where we're going to place that fields. So I will do div, and here I will write a class container, and inside I will create two columns. The left column, which is going to be where the user will put its input, and the right column where you will see the result. So in the left column, as you can see here, there is the input from the user, while in the right column there is the output from the OpenAI. And this is what we will do here. So inside the main container, I will create another div from a class. Let's write it left column. Okay, and here I want a text field. So let's do text area. Okay, and then the class will be, or actually the name will be code. So here is where we're going to place our failing code, and I will do placeholder, enter code. Okay, and then I'll create another text field. So let's do again text area. So here the name will be error. Okay, so here we will place our error. I will again write placeholder, enter error. Okay, and this will be the end of our div. So let's create now the right column. So let's do class right column. Okay, and then let's do text area, and here I will do class fixed dash code, then name equals to fix dash code. Okay, then we'll add placeholder, so there is something displayed in the window, and here I write again fixed code. I also want to make this field read only, since we don't want the users to write anything inside the field, so I will do read only. And finally, and this is very important, you need to pass here the text code from the HTML, right? This is what we're passing to the HTML here. So you need to add that into the field of the right column. So the idea is that if this parameter doesn't exist, right? So we don't go through the post request, this parameter here will not exist, so nothing will be displayed in the field. But if this parameter exists, we want to display it. So you can do that by adding some JavaScript. So I will just pass here fix underscore code. Okay, and this is how you will be able to display it. Now let's add the explanation. This will be done exactly in the same way. So let's do text area, class, explanation, and then name, explanation. Then let's do placeholder. Again, I'll call it explanation. The field will be read only. And I want you here to figure out what you should write. If you want, pause the video and try doing it yourself. Okay, it is very simple. You just need to pass the explanation that we pass to the index.html file. So you can do that in the same way. Let's do explanation. Okay, so this is the end of our form, and here is where the body and the HTML file ends. Now, if you run this code and you open it in the browser, you see that the application is created, so you have those fields on which you can change the size, right? And also you have the button code fix. Now this application should work fine, and actually I will test it with certain input. So let's place a random code here. Let's break it a little bit. Okay. Let's click code fix button, and let's wait a little bit for the API to write the answer. So once we finish, you can see that actually the left column is displayed above while the right column is displayed below. Your API calls work completely fine. You can see that you are getting the answer to your question, and you also get your code fixed. However, the application looks pretty ugly and it is definitely not user friendly. So this is what we'll do in the next video. So we'll add some style, and you'll see how easily you'll be able to create a professional looking app.